Hello and welcome to this week's Luxuries Outdated. I have an absolutely terrible rotten cold, so I sound really bad today. Just up off my deathbed to record some lovely gaming video for you. So what are we looking at this week? Okay, so this week we are looking at a bit of a favourite of mine, and I just was thinking about games there a couple of days ago, and literally this just popped into my head. So I dug up the disc of it and fired it up, and we have it on the Atari. This week we're looking at Rally Speedway, or to give it its full title, John Anderson's Rally Speedway. John Anderson, great programmer, not the dude from The Matrix, funnily enough. It's the name of Neo's character in The Matrix, and I'm just rambling here. But yeah, Rally Speedway, originally released on the Atari in the, was it 83 or 84 on the Atari 8-bits, and got a Commodore 64 conversion about a year later. The reason I'm familiar with this is I had a copy, well I didn't, my brother had a copy of this on the Atari. Now, just to completely start rambling, and you could just skip forward a bit if you don't want to hear all this, but back years ago when I was a nipper and I had the Atari, which is my first kind of mainstream computer, and it shows you how obscure the stuff I had before that when I referred to the Atari 800 as a mainstream computer. Atari was kind of big enough in Ireland, probably because they were made here. Atari had a factory here. So I think they did some sort of, there was some sort of tax break or something on them, because in the UK, where you'd have Commodore 64s and then the Spectrum and then Amstrad, in Ireland, you'd have the Commodore 64, Spectrum, and the Atari. You'd probably hold up maybe the third place, or I used to think it would have been maybe second place, but in retrospect it seems to be kind of the third popular kind of one. I mean, there were Amstrads as well, but just like I said, I had a fairly big circle of friends that all seem to have Atari computers. Anyway, the whole reason I'm rambling about this is we go to a place in Dublin city centre called Pete's in Parnell Street. It's still there, it's actually moved across the road, but it was kind of a mecca for gaming back then. I always remember when you'd go in, there'd be a big Ultimate poster, and they had lots of little games and bits and bobs there, and lots of home electronic stuff and that. But they were big into Atari. They were big. They really were behind the Atari 8-bits for an awful lot longer than they probably should have been. You could still buy the stuff there up until it really kind of died down elsewhere. But yeah. Anyway, the point of all this rambling is that when my brother's birthday came round, he went looking for a game, and because we shared a computer, and he got a copy of Rally Speedway, and it had some sort of really cheesy description on the back of the cartridge. I'll dig it up in a minute and just see if I can find a scan of it. But the box had something terrible, like "Don't worry, Mom, your kids won't need a helmet," or something ridiculous like that. So you're going to see it in a second. It's a great game. It's one of those games though that's better two-player. I'd love to drag my brother back over to the house here and play two-player with him, but he probably wouldn't be up for that these days. But it's the closest thing you're going to... When I load up in a minute, you're going to see. But it's the closest... You're going to see similarities, especially if you see a two-player game, between Micro Machines. And also, the other, really cool point for me was that it had a construction kit, and I'll show you that as well in a minute. But anyway, listen, we'll go. I'll stop faffing around here, and we'll go and load this up and see how much fun we can have. Okay, so I'm actually doing this from a real Atari today. I've been fiddling around with cables, and I think I've it set up. So it's the disc version. There's a cartridge version, as I mentioned, and you can see the lovely colourful start screen. So you've got, basically, when it starts up, you've got a load of options. So we're going to go in now and start the race in a second. Also, and we'll just go back there now. It'll flash back to it in a minute there. You got an option down the bottom for basically loading tracks, saving tracks, making them, reset things, this kind of thing. But what we'll do is we'll start up a one-player game, and I'll show you how it works. Okay, so here we go. Now, yes, it looks like a tractor, right? Got to get that out of the way. Okay. Just imagine it's a 1960 style racer. Now it's top down, and like I said, it's going to be okay, obviously the track isn't like it, but it always reminded me of Micro Machines. Well, when Micro Machines came out later on, it reminded me of this. This is actually the inspiration for this was in a television game. I'm trying to think what the name of it was. It was Auto Race or something along those lines, or Auto Speedway or something like that. But there was in a television game that was similar to this, and John Anderson kind of took his inspiration from that. But again, that was didn't have, obviously, you know, this is graphically a lot better and it's a lot faster. This, by the way, it's you're gonna see. No, apologies, because in fairness, I'm still getting the hang of the controls on this. But this is kind of limited to kind of slow speed at the moment. This car is only going to 40 or 60 miles an hour. There's a 100 miles an hour option, and you have an option for icy tracks, and it really bombs along. I'll show you later on. I just didn't want to crash every 3 seconds, so that's my excuse for playing it, and kind of, you know, the stabilizers on, if you like. But yeah, anyway, when Micro Machines came out, let's see if we can get around this tree. No, can't get around the tree. When Micro Machines came out years later, it always reminded me of this. And again, when I show you the 2-player version or the 2-player game in this, you might see a similarity. The controls are, excuse me, the controls are a bit odd. You push up to accelerate, and then left and right steers left and right. So now regardless of whether you're going up the track or along the track or down the track, it's always the same. So it's kind of, you know, once you get the hang of it, it's not too bad. You can, if I remember rightly, hitting the select button on the Atari, it changed to a different view, or sorry, a different control method, one that was a bit more traditional. But once you get the hang of this, it's not too bad. I don't think brake does anything. I think you pull back to brake. So sorry, I don't think fire does anything. It's a pull back to brake, which can get a bit tricky. There's options as well. Oh yeah. And your little man waves to prove that he's okay. Okay, so let's put this up to icy roads, and then let's put it up to 100 miles an hour, and see how long it can last on the track. Oh, fast acceleration. Okay, let's see how long it lasts on the track. Okay, let's get killed. Now, okay, look at, in fairness, it does nip along. It's really, really fast. Like I said, this is the actual hardware. This is an emulation. It isn't speeded up. It's too fast, in fact. I can't control it. Let's start with dry roads. Oh, made that. Didn't die horribly. Yeah, so it's... I remember playing this with my brother. 2-player races, full speed, full acceleration, and the two of us were able to stay on the track, so obviously my reflexes were a lot better back then. Oh, let's see if I can navigate around it. Yep, there we go. God, I really am dying a lot here. Alright, what I'm going to do, I'm going to pop on the track make, or the make tracks option. And we'll have a quick look and see if yeah, the track editor, this is it here. So the second joystick controls sorry, excuse me, coughing my lungs out here. The second controller picks the piece that you're going to put on the track. Those arrows that are left and right, which I always manage to mix up, are, you know, which way you're going to be facing on the track. And they're very important as well, and you're gonna. I always get this wrong, so you know, since this is just gonna be a quick and dirty track, I'm sure I'll end up facing the wrong way. But they're really important if you crash, because they point you back in the track in the right direction. So now, as I said, I had the cartridge. Well, my brother had the cartridge version of this, and you had an option then to save the tracks to tape. We never really bothered it on there. Well, I think we did with a couple, but generally, you know. We used to go through them. The other thing was, I think, if you wanted to load different tracks up, I think you went in here and hit one of the buttons, and it cycled through them, and then you could play them. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to zip ahead and to the magic of editing. I'm just going to go and see if I can make a little circuit track, a little rough and ready one, just to show you. So the wonders of editing, it'll now magically appear as if by magic. Bing! There you go. Excuse me. It's not perfect. It's just to give you an idea what the game is. plays. Like the numbers there and the letters are scenery. I think 0 was I can't remember what it was. But the L1 is lake, H is house, T is tree. I think O was orchard. 0 was orchard. I think that's what it was. And as I said, I will have put the arrows in the right direction. So the first time I crash, God knows what direction I'm going to be pointing in. But let's just give this a try. So now you'll see my track building skills are about as good as my driving skills. They're rubbish. Oh, facing the wrong bloody way. Yeah, basically it's kind of what you see is what you get. The very basic looking kind of map you create on the Make Tracks editor is just transfers into the actual track here, and it's pretty handy. Like I actually remember remaking Suzuka, the Japanese Formula 1 track, because I was a huge fan of Final Lap, and that was the one the track I used to race on with my mates. And this is pre-internet, so I think I did it from memory, so God knows what it looked like. But yeah, there you go. It's a quick loop just to see how it works, and it's not too bad. Through this 1 hour of editing, you missed my huge racking coughing fit I had there, so there you go. Things I do for you people. Yeah, 2-player. Sadly, I'm doing this on my own. Oh, it's really sad. Trying to control both cars at the same time, because just my foot wouldn't be too interested in playing this. But yeah, basically the great thing is you can bounce people off the track. It's, again, if you can get a screen ahead of the other guy, and without crashing horribly like I'm doing here a lot, they'll get a time penalty. So obviously, if they get enough time... Oh, we're facing the wrong way. If they get enough time penalties, even if they finish first, it's no use. You'll still win. So lots of great gameplay that way. So again, I don't know if anyone involved in Micro Machines had ever seen this game. I'd like to think they did, because it's I know the spiritual successor phrase people use a lot now, but it is Micro Machines is kind of the spiritual successor of this. So there you go. So Rally Speedway, one of my faves. I must get my brother around and see if he's up for a game of this. I doubt it, but I must see if he's interested. So Gavin, in the unlikely event you're watching this, please come over and we'll have a couple of beers and play this. So listen, thanks for watching. Apologies on the rambling at the start. I have it down to my I blame it on the codeine-based cough bottle I'm taking at the moment. And yeah, again, this is taken from a real Atari 800 XL. So you can see the lovely speed and colours that are running there. Next time I will next time I will definitely do a newer game, just to show you something more interesting. But there you go. That's been Rally Speedway. Thank you, Mr. John Anderson. Which, now think about it, wasn't the guy from The Matrix at all. That was Thomas Anderson. So there you go. Again, I'm blaming on the cough bottle, the cough mixture. Listen, thanks for watching. See you next one.